hello, this is Sean. This is going to be part 20 and hopefully the final video of the 1000 scale Excelsior build. I'm going to start by putting on the side stripes for the secondary hull, but I'm actually going to use the Federation model stripes, the ones that have a straight thin stripe instead of it curving down like the other ones. So I'm going to do a test fit and see how it works. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back again. So I have the decal that came with the kit. Now as you can see here, the thin stripe is designed to fit around the very thick section, the thick top section, while the thick stripe is designed to fit underneath this lip right there. That's the part that on my model is more gray. It's weird that the thick stripe fits on the, but anyway, that's how it goes. But as you can see, you see how the thin stripe curves down? That will prevent it from easily fitting. But if you look at the thick stripe here on the Federation model site, you see how the thick stripe curves down, as it should, so it'll fit around the longer axis. But the thin stripe fits along the front, so that's good. All you have to do is ease the stripes back so it would fit right about there. Right about there. But what I might do, and it would be rather tricky, I admit, but because there's a slight gap here, what I might do is I might try to fit them on separately. Because if I follow that curve exactly, oh wait, I won't need to separate them. They'll fit. That curve is meant to account for the lip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to soak the small section, and we're just going to see if that works. So I'll be back with that and we'll take a look, because I don't want this video to be too long. So I got the first stripe on. The straight thin stripe is correct to fit around the upper deck, while the downward curving thick stripe is correct to fit on the lower lip there. But I am wondering if I should perhaps just, when it starts to curve like that, for the other side, I'm going to separate the two pieces from each other so that you don't have the big plastic there. But that's where you can separate them. And maybe I will separate the stripes entirely for the front curve on the other side. Anyway, I'm going to work on the rest of the stripe going all the way back, cutting it into chunks about that size. And I'll be back when that's complete, because that's all I'm going to do on that hull tonight. Alright, I'm back. So what I realized is I'm going to have to use this dark blue stripe to go the rest of the way back to the edge of the ship along the rounding tail fin, because the Federation model stripe is a bit too thin. But that's alright. I don't mind doing that. I don't mind using that part. So I've put on 3 sections. So the next section I'll use is just up to the edge of the thick stripe. And then I will turn to the Federation models for the dark blue stripe to go back there as a single stripe. So that'll work. I'll do that, and then I'll show you the ports this side, and then I'm going to start on the bottom saucer. Okay, so there's the result. Got it on all the way along. And where it becomes just one stripe, it's the dark blue stripe. But as you can see, because I used the Federation Models dark blue stripe, it goes all the way to the center of the point at the back. So it's on there. So that's all I'm going to do for the secondary hull tonight. I'm going to focus now on the bottom saucer, and I'll be back when I've done some work on that. Okay, well, I remember reading from Lou Del Mesa when he did this, the Excelsior in 2016. He said move the red stripes, which you can see outlined in green, move them in one concentric hull section so that they lie in between the hatches and the phasers. And as you can see, he's correct. You have to move them in one so that those stripes come right to the edge of the Aztec on either side and they align with the curve. But that's good. That's why you do test fitting. And it'll work. It'll work perfectly doing it like that. So I'm going to put those stripes and the bottom registry on. That's all I'm going to do tonight, and I'll come back when that's done. Okay, so there we go. I moved the nacelle stripes, the saucer stripes and the registry number. I checked NCC, I moved it in one, as you can see here. So the stripes are on, the registry is on, everything is centered. So that works very well. And that is where I'm going to stop part A, section A, of part 20 of the NCC Excelsior build, because there's nothing more I can do tonight except let the decals dry. And maybe tomorrow night, or, well, actually I'm going away for the weekend. So when I'm back on Sunday, I'll work on the ship some more, and that'll be section B of part 20 of the NCC Excelsior build. And I'll splice all these videos together and post it when it's all complete. So everyone have a good rest of your week, a good weekend, and I'll see you here next time. Okay. Hello again, this is Sean, I'm back. This is Wednesday, September 15th, and this is part 20, section B of the Excelsior build. The NCC Captain Sulu Excelsior build. So today I'm going to finish the stripes. I'm going to implement my idea to cut this stripe right where it splits into two, and then put these two stripes on the front section separately. And after that, the secondary hull will be done, and it'll be time to work on the bottom saucer section to attempt the phasers. Now that the red stripes have had more than a week to dry, I'm going to attempt the phaser decals. And of course I'll do the windows. And after that, the bottom saucer will be done. All that's left will be the top saucer and the side stripes, and then I can start assembly of the final three pieces. So I'm going to attempt the stripe, and I will be right back. Okay, so the first stripe is on. I made sure to measure it and made sure it was aligned all the way along the top. As you can see on the other side, it goes along the very top. So now I'm going to do the stripe so that it is all in one piece all the way along. Even if it overlaps a little bit, because I can see it's going to. But that's all right, at least it meets in the front. So I'll do that, and I'll come back with the striping it on in its various sections and show you the last. Alright, so as you can see, I've got the light blue stripe all along the other side of the ship. So all I have to do now is cut off the single section of the Federation Models blue stripe and put it right along the back until it meets up with the other one at the back. And once I've done that, then the secondary hull will be complete. And I can brace it and move over to the bottom of the saucer. So I'll cut out the stripe, and once I put it on, I'll come back. Alright, there we are. The bottom, the rest of the stripe is on, as you can see, the dark blue. And I got it to meet in the back. So now I'm going to set the ship aside. There we go. And the ship can stay there. And I'll put all the secondary hull striping away, and I'll get ready to do the bottom saucer phaser strip. So I'll be back with that. Okay, so I'm back again. As you can see on the instructions, decal 22 is the windows for the bottom saucer. And there's decal 22. Now the good thing about these, the model kit decals, they're all separated by raised indents. Each window panel is separated, so you know exactly where to cut. You don't have to guess. So I'm going to put a few windows on. It looks like they go on the inner circle around the sensor dish, and I will be back once I've done that. Alright, thanks for waiting. I'm back again. So I got all the bottom saucer windows on there. It's hard to see, but now I'm trying the phaser decals. You can see the first one there. I put the microsol on it. So I'm going to go around the saucer ring, put on the remaining 4. I'll be back and show you how it looks. Okay, so I'm back. All the phaser strips are now safely on the the bottom saucer. So I'm going to set it aside. There's nothing more to do on the saucer now until everything's had a chance to dry. Same thing with the secondary hull, because there are phaser decals for 33, which is in the very bottom. You can see those 4 in front of the stand hole. But again, that's waiting until everything has got a chance to dry. You can see I've marked out everything on the guide as to what I've put on. So that'll be the end of section B of part 20, and I'll be back with part C in a few days. Talk to you all later, and we'll see you here next time. Hi, this is Sean. I'm back again, and this is part 20, section C of the Excelsior build. So what I'm doing now is I'm try to cut out the thicker pieces of cardboard here, to fill the neck. Fill it up until you get to the top and you get to something like this. You glue that to the bottom, to the saucer, right in there. And then you have a much bigger gluing surface that still won't interfere with these raised tabs. And in that way, you'll be able to glue the neck to the saucer securely. And what I'm going to do when I put the saucer on the stand is I'm going to brace it with something, probably a collection of books, maybe constructs that is built to fit something, so that the saucer is in the proper angle and the saucer still presses down on the neck, or the neck presses down on the saucer if you build it in upside down. Anyway, I'm going to come back once the neck is filled. I'll be back. So you can see what I do here. I use the white piece, which is going to be the top one. I trace out each section on the thicker cardboard. That way it'll take less of them to fill up the neck. But I'm going to pile them all in there until I get enough to get to the top. Then I'll glue them all in, and then I'll have the neck filled and a much bigger gluing surface ready to attach the saucer to the star drive section. So I'll be back when I've cut enough to fill up the neck. There, like that. Just high enough to provide a proper gluing surface. So what I will do is I will now glue all that into the neck, and then see if I can glue the bottom of the saucer to the neck and brace it. Well, that's how I'm bracing it for now. I'll clean up all the glue and everything later. I think I have it at a good angle, so I'm going to leave it there. Don't disturb it, don't touch it, don't move it. and just work on the registry number on the bottom of the nacelles. So that's what I'm going to do next. So I'm back. These are the nacelle decals, number 26. They go on the top. Oh, rotate it a bit so you can see it. They go on the top back. They go on the inner top back and the outer side of each nacelle. So I'm only going to put on the left facing ones today, and tomorrow is when I'll try the other ones. So I'll try that. I'll be back. I finally found the correct angle to brace the Excelsior. I held it together long enough that it didn't come apart. I'm going to leave it there, maybe for the next week. Whatever it takes, I'm going to leave it just like that. And then once it's firmly sealed and fixed, I'll replace the decal. I'll fix that paint there from the glue spillover. But I'm hoping that my decision to create a bigger painting surface worked, and that this saucer and neck will now stay together. It's amazing. I went through all that stacking of books. I was going to use construction stuff, and all it took was a pack of Walmart cookies to brace and hold it at the correct angle. Sometimes the simplest things are the best. So anyway, I'm going to leave the Excelsior like that. I'm going to work on the nacelle registries, and that's all I'm going to do on the Excelsior for the next few days, because I got to give this all the time it needs to set. So I'll be back with the nacelles. All right, I'm back. So I got the, as you saw, I got the saucer and neck. They're braced. I found the rest of my different types of glue that I bought at the hobby shop a few days ago. So when I check in 1 week, not before, and don't go eating those cookies because I'll disturb the bag, I will check again and see what I get. If it works, then that's excellent. It'll work, and I'll be happy, and then I can just touch up a few paint mistakes and replace a few decals, because you know I have the 1000 scale Excelsior decals here, so for Aztecs and so forth. And I'm gonna go back to the Snap Fit Refit 1000 scale, or turn to something like the NX class, as you can see in the background. You can see how well the NX class stays together. So I'm just going to stick to something that's only like a 12-inch Starship for now, until I can, you know, find better gluing methods for the bigger ships. I'm not going to mess around with that, not now. I'm just going to take my time and stick to Polar Light Snap Fit kits for now. It'll be a lot less stressful. I mean, this is what I guess happens when you're building a ship for someone else and not you. You know, because as you know, I want to get this ship signed by George Takei as Captain Sulu. But the good thing about the 1000 scale kits is I should probably build them like I built the 650 Enterprise. I didn't actually build that one. I repainted that one. That's why it's in the model repainting videos on YouTube and not the build slideshow. The first ship I built was a 1000 scale TOS. Just trying to align this right. It aligns exactly underneath the fin, so you have to slide it back further. Of course, if it won't move, we'll see. Alright, so I got the 2 decals on, so there's the outboard port thrust nacelle and the inboard starboard nacelle. So I'm going to shift the ship so that I can do the other two, because the top, it's only the tail fin resting. It's not going to be the nacelle itself or the ship. So that's, there you go. And then I can do the other two, and then those nacelles will be done. And that's the last bit for the ship for, I'm going to say about a week, because I want to give that saucer section plenty of time to dry, and there's, quite frankly, there's no more decals to do on these nacelles. There's no more to do on the secondary hull unless something needs replacing, and that's why I have multiple sets of everything. But when I build the Enterprise B, which is on my model shelf here, I'm just going to make sure that I do the saucer to secondary hull assembly, and of course the neck attachment, obviously, before I do anything else. And what I might also try, just for fun, is I might also try building the saucer into the neck like I did with the 537 Enterprise A. And then once it's secure, then attach the neck to the secondary hull that way. I'm not sure yet about that one. But definitely don't paint or decal the saucer or the secondary hull until the saucer is firmly attached to the neck. That's a lesson I almost learned the hard way. It cost me a few thrusters. But it should work just fine. I mean, I have lots of spare thrusters, even the ones that are the same color. I can replace that one small wedge of the Aztec paneling, and it'll all work out. But in the future, I'll make sure to fix things properly. But I'm overall pretty pleased. I mean, it's holding now. I'm going to let it sit there for a week. Of course, I remember what happened with the Enterprise A, but again, it didn't have a big enough gluing surface. This one does, so it should work. But again, the backing paper came off the decal because it was in the water too long, so I'll be right back. So I got it back on the wall decal. Backing paper back on, but I'm going to try Boyd's method from now on. I don't have a spray bottle, but I can use the Q-tip on the decal. Maybe that'll break it up a bit. This time I'm going to do the decal that's farthest from me first. That one. Bring it back a bit. Let's see, take a look at the other side. Take a look at it from the top. Ooh, this one needs to come back just a smidge. There you go. That's it. Got it. And it looks pretty straight to me, so pat it down. Now I can use the next one to do the same thing, because I can look at it from top and bottom and make sure that it matches properly, and then I don't have to worry about anything. I can tell that that has to be moved up from the grill a bit. Now let's see, let's take a look here. You know, that looks pretty well aligned right as it is. I don't think I have to change anything. So I am going to pat this dry. There we go. And now the nacelles are all done. You can see on the guide here, 26B, because it's for the NCC. Unintentional rhyme, yeah, I know. So that's all I'm doing now. I'm going to put the nacelles in the box, and that'll be it for part C of the NCC. Yeah, another rhyme. And I'll see you here next time.